Alright, so I came home from a work trip to Hawaii, and we were having great weather there, but it was 100 degrees here in Virginia while I was gone. And when I came home, the pond was so thick and green, and I was just tired of it. I took up some water samples to Hampton Roads Water Gardens, which I found, and I came home with this ProLine submersible high drive 2,600 gallon per hour pump, and this Pond Max 3600 UV. It's a 24 watt pressurized filter for the pond. Yeah, a lot bigger than the Laguna Clearflow 2000 system that I had in there. Look at that size difference. They told me that I was under powered for the amount of water that I had in here. So they did some measurements, came up with, I probably have about an 1,800 gallon pond. And so one, the UV filter wasn't large enough as far as watts, and two, it just was not a big enough filter system. We weren't actually circulating all the water through in the amount of time that it needed to in order to combat the algae, which was growing at a faster rate than I was actually running the water through. So this will take care of that, and already it is, I'm seeing down in there 8 inches, something like that, which I wasn't seeing before. You guys can't, there's reflections, but I can see the fish. I couldn't see them the first 2 days that I was home unless I fed them, and they were right at the top within an inch or two because it was so soupy. So already less than 24 hours later, we are seeing a difference with this system. It's amazing what it's doing to the water. I can't wait to see what we get in a couple days, and so we'll update you then with a follow-up video. But so glad I found this. It's about an hour from my house, and they have all ponds and things for ponds, fish, plants. That's where I actually got this lotus from. So overall, the pond is looking good. It'll look great as soon as we can see the fish again. Those 100-degree days really did it in for the pond. Everything was so green and thick, and I took it in. They just said that I was underpowered with my UV filter, and so the option was to buy a bigger pump in UV or buy a bigger filter that had a bigger UV in it for the same price, and so I went that route. But the lily pads have actually taken off this year. We did fertilize them this year, and so they are actually starting to get a little bit bigger. All of them were these small sizes for some reason before. Now that we fertilized them, they're growing bigger and much more plentiful. So we're going to get this all covered up for some shade. The lotus is doing great. All the other plants are doing great. We got the frog joining us. Normally we just have toads, but we bought some of the tadpoles up at the Hampton Roads Water Garden shop that I found this year, which I'm so grateful to have found. And they grew up into cute little frogs, and 2 of them have stuck around. I think we bought 5, and 2 of them are still here, which is really cool. The new filter is under this big faux rock that we have here with these big 1 1/4 inch pipes. I did end up cutting it out here, and our aerator is down in here, as well as a mess of cables. I'm still working on all of this, so I will have to get it a little bit tidied up. I'm probably gonna put a little stake in the ground to keep the wires up off the ground. Look how green the water is coming out of here. It is really doing such a job. Just spin this handle here, which puts the roller against the sponges in there. All of the green nastiness comes out. Once we get this pond back in and taken care of, we won't have to do this as often, but I'm doing it here first day after because it's just so bad and I lost so much of the pressure. So I think it's kind of gummed up at the moment. We'll wait till it goes clear, and then we'll switch it back to into the pond. But this just kind of sits right on top, keeps the rain off of the electronics, keeps everything dry. I just gotta go in here and stuff under these cables and extras. I don't know why it took me so long to get in there and finally change out the filter, but I think this is really going to make the difference for it and get this thing cleaned up so it's nice and crystal clear for me to be able to enjoy the fish. The amount that it is already cleared up, I really have a feeling that we're going to see crystal clear water with this filter setup, so I'm really excited about that. All right, it is about 24 hours later, and I can now see all the way to the bottom of the pond. The frogs hiding out there. The fish are fully visible. They swim in here. There's one down below. Down in the plants. The rocks. Actually, that's fish. Those are down at the very bottom, about 36 inches. So a little bit murky, but it's definitely visible to the bottom, especially when the sun is out. You can see the little rocks and things down there. So it could possibly clear up even more, but I would say that it's almost crystal clear at this point. Again, a little bit harder to judge because I have so much agitation on the top of the surface here. But the fish seem really happy. Swimming around a lot more. They probably can see. But yeah, anyway, really excited about what this filter is doing here so quickly, because it was so out of control. And once it's under control, hopefully it'll be able to manage it no problem. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I know it's been a while. It's been super busy. This new job that I'm doing, this project that I'm working on, is consuming a lot of my time. But I am spending a lot of my time out here working on this year and trying to get it nice and enjoyable. Like I said, we did buy this new umbrella to help with the shade. That wasn't enough. We've taken it to the next level. And overall, the pond itself is holding together real good. All I have for the back waterfall now is really just a pump. It's not being filtered. All the filtered water is coming out in the corner there. And the return is down here in the lily pad. So basically drawing it across the pond as far as I can get it. And it's just a much bigger tube. So we've got 1 1/4 inch hose this time, just to move a lot more water. And so we'll see how it does. I'm really encouraged though with what I'm seeing so far, and their ponds there all look great, and so they seem to know what they're talking about, and I'm excited about that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next time.